Have you ever noticed those little things that make a place feel like home for the residents of the Evergreen Building? That special something was the lush greenery that filled every hallway and corner, and the man behind it all was Mr. Harrison. For over 20 years, he was more than just a resident. He was the building's unofficial gardener. But Harrison had a gift. He knew exactly what each plant needed: a little more sun for the ficus in the west wing, a bit less water for the succulents near the main entrance. He'd be out there every morning, humming a quiet tune, his watering can in hand. The plants weren't just decorations, they were his passion project, a vibrant tapestry he wove into the very fabric of the building. Kids would stop to ask him questions, and he'd patiently explain the names of different leaves. New residents were always greeted with a small potted plant for their windowsill, a personal welcome from Mr. Harrison himself. The building breathed life, and that life was nurtured by his hands. Then one day, a notice appeared on the community board. Mr. Harrison was moving to live with his daughter in another state. The news spread quickly, and a wave of sadness washed over the residents. It wasn't just about the plants, it was about losing a friendly face, a constant, comforting presence. Who would talk to the ferns now? Who would remember to miss the orchids? The initial reaction was a collective sigh of resignation. People assumed the plants would slowly wither, and the building would return to being just another concrete structure. The first week after he left, the silence in the hallways felt heavy. The leaves on the peace lily by the elevator started to droop. A fine layer of dust settled on the pothos vines. It was as if the building itself was mourning his departure. The vibrant green was starting to look a little dull, a little sad. But then, something small happened. Mrs. Gable from 3B, a retired teacher who'd always admired Mr. Harrison's work, was seen one morning with his old watering can. She tentatively watered the plants on her floor. She wasn't sure if she was doing it right, but she couldn't just stand by and watch them fade. Her simple act was like a single drop of rain in a drought. The next day, a young college student named Alex, who lived on the top floor, noticed what she was doing. He remembered Mr. Harrison showing him how to check the soil for dryness. So, he started checking the plants on his floor, giving a little water to the thirsty ones. He even looked up a few plant care videos online to make sure he wasn't overdoing it. Soon, a chain reaction began. A group of parents started a watering schedule for the lobby plants, turning it into a fun activity for their kids. They learned the names of the plants together. Someone else bought a new mister for the delicate ferns. A tech guy from the 5th floor created a shared online document, a plant care wiki, where residents could log when they watered a plant or share tips they learned. They started adding notes, things like, "The ficus on the 2nd floor loves the morning sun," or "Don't forget the little spider plant behind the mailboxes." What started as a chore became a new form of connection. People who had only ever exchanged polite nods in the elevator were now stopping to talk about pruning techniques and fertilizer. They weren't just watering plants. They were nurturing a community. They organized a potting party one weekend to repot some of the larger plants, with music playing and snacks shared in the common room. The building felt more alive than ever. When Mrs. Gable called Mr. Harrison to give him an update, he was overjoyed. He listened, his voice thick with emotion, as she described how everyone had stepped up. The plants weren't just surviving, they were thriving, and so were the people. He hadn't just left behind a collection of greenery. He had planted a seed of community that was now in full bloom. The residents of the Evergreen Building learned a valuable lesson. A community isn't built on one person's efforts, but on the small, collective actions of everyone involved. Mr. Harrison's legacy wasn't just in the leaves and stems, it was in the connections that grew long after he was gone. It's a beautiful reminder that sometimes the best things we can do are the things we do together. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more. See you next time.